Welcome, my name is Kathy A, and today I'm going to do a special all about a brand called Makeup Revolution. And this is a brand that a lot of us have seen from the UK, and we were waiting for it to come to the US because they seem to ship all over the world, but it was hard to get it in the US until a few months ago. Ulta actually decided to carry them, but now you can also go on to the Makeup Revolution website and you can order straight from them. Now they charge about $12 or $13 for shipping, but if you buy enough stuff on there and it's slightly less than it is on the Ulta website, you can even it out as far as the shipping goes. However, returns might be a different story, and you know, with my track record, I have to really go with Ulta or Sephora. So I've got a lot of stuff here, so let me just start off with a few things. A lot of people like this brand and they just gloat over it because they're kind of an imitation of a lot of high-end brands. You'll see they imitate Lorac, they imitate Too Faced, they imitate Urban Decay, they imitate MAC. They do kind of their own version of high-end cosmetics. Now I guess a good similarity would be like in the 60s. Well, I used to love rock and roll bands when I was growing up in the 60s, and I always wanted records for Christmas, and my parents didn't know any of the rock and roll bands. So they'd have me make a list of the bands I wanted records from, and I'd put like the Beatles or Rolling Stones or The Who or whatever, and then they'd go to the store, and of course my mother inevitably, at least one of the records would be the Hillside Singers Sing the Songs of the Beatles. You know, like the Beatles would be the first words that she'd buy it, thinking it was a Beatles record. And it was like a sound-alike. You remember those sound-alikes? So this kind of makeup to me is like sound-alikes are to music. It's like kinda sorta there, but not quite. And this is great as like a starter makeup, like if you don't really have a lot of money, or if you're just getting back into the makeup world and you don't really know what you like. These products are not as high quality as their high-end counterparts, but the pricing is so good that it's worth trying because some of the shades are pretty close and some of the products are pretty nice. I'm going to start this off with something I don't like, which there's always something I don't like. I'm getting a wrap. Okay, this is the Makeup Revolution Cover and Conceal, and this is the light palette. And I was a little concerned when I saw the picture online. I had to order online because none of the 3 local Ultas to me carry this in their stores. They said only some Ultas are going to carry them in the actual stores. So I actually had to order online from Ulta, and the selection is not that great. If you go to the Makeup Revolution site, you'll see like a gazillion products. And if you go to the Ulta site, you don't see that many. So there were no mascaras or eyeliners. I was really unhappy about that. But the Ulta stores do carry eyeliners and lip liners and different types of foundations and things like that. So this is something definitely to have a look at. Okay, Makeup Revolution. This is the Ultra Cover and Conceal palette in light. And let me just show you. It's a really nice compact. You get a nice mirror, and you get 8 colors, and these are all fish belly white colors, but look at the difference between what they show online and also on the packaging and what you actually get. So this is fish belly white, so it's a pretty good assortment, and I did swatch them on my arm here so you can see there's a nice assortment of different tones, both cool and warm, and some slightly darker, and there's a brightening yellow color here. The unfortunate part of this is that while these look like they'd be very creamy on, if you have dry skin, it just settles right into the dry patches and it makes your wrinkles look like they're big caverns in the Grand Canyon. So unfortunately, this was a fail. So Cover and Conceal, not good if you have dry skin or if you have a lot of wrinkles. It's just going to accentuate them. And I always use my 5x mirror when I am demonstrating or reviewing concealer, especially because I need to see what it does underneath my eye. Because when you wear glasses and you're talking to somebody, this part of your eyes is magnified. So not only do they get to see the normal, you know, wear and tear that's underneath there, but they'll see it magnified. So if you have something like this on there and it magnifies it, they're just going to look at all the cakey lines underneath your eyes and not pay attention to what you're saying. So unfortunately, cover and conceal is going back. Now the blush palette is slightly a different story, and there are some in here that I really like. There were two varieties of these blush palettes. One was kind of more on the warm tone side and one was more on the pinky tone side. So being the spring Color Me Beautiful person, I decided to go with Hot Spice, and this is an assortment of 4 blushes. They don't tell you what the color names are, and that's unfortunate because I really like one of them. This is Hot Spice, and they give you a sheet and it tells you whether or not they are baked, shimmer, or matte, which I think you can kind of tell that on your own. It seemed like kind of a silly thing to do. Again, the same sort of palette where you have a nice mirrored compact. There are 2 baked products on the bottom. If you see this one here, I don't get how this one looks like Hot Spice. To me, this is a very blue pink. Let me see if I can do a bigger swatch so you can see it, but this is a blue pink, and I did put it on my face so you could see it. It's just a little too bluey pink. Whoever designed the products for this, I think they're cool tone people, because almost everything seems to favor cool tone folks. Now this line, these colors are somewhat nondescript. This one in particular had almost no payout whatsoever. I couldn't get, see, you can barely see it. Can hardly see it at all. So this was a complete dud, this shade here. These two, as far as highlighters go, this one wasn't bad as a highlighter. This was more towards the warm tone. I loved this one. This was my favorite shade in the whole palette, and I'm wearing it on my cheeks right now. It really is a beautiful color, and it does stay on all day. So whatever this is called up here, this is my favorite in the line here, and I also like this one here. These other ones, they swatch okay. Again, we've got, you know, those. See the difference between this, and they look almost identical, but when you swatch them, look at the difference. There's huge difference there. So these are really nice. I'm not going to take this back because I do love this one so much, and it's a nice, slightly satiny look summer blush. I think it's the perfect summer blush. So I do like the blush formula. I think that the staying power isn't as good, but I always use a setting spray with my makeup, and so that really helps it stay on. And you know, for the 1 or 2 duds that are in this particular palette, to me it wasn't worth returning it, because this was only, I think, $10 for this, and I think that's a really good deal. And the concealer palette as well, I think it was only $10, and for 8 shades of concealer, I thought that was a great deal. Now I did get an individual blush, and this is the matte blush, Makeup Revolution matte blush powder, and this is the color Beloved. This is, to me, the color of summer. This is really, really pretty. It's very, very vibrant pink and very pigmented. This is a completely different formula than the ones in the palette. So if you see a color that you like in the palette, if you see it in these larger ones, you may want to pick that up. I believe they do have different finishes for these individual blushes, but I happen to get a matte one. I think these are fairly new. And somebody had mentioned in one of the comments that I was reading on somebody else's review of this stuff, that the stuff that they're sending to America seems to be a little different than what you can get in the UK and also on the site for Makeup Revolution. So keep that in mind, and you may want to opt for the Makeup Revolution site, but again, it's that color swatch thing. If you really are sure about the color, then go for it. Now this one totally threw me off. This is the Vivid, it's like a highlighter, and this is called Peach Lights. And this, to me, online looked like a kind of a rose gold champagne kind of color, but what happened with it, and it's beautiful swirl, it's like a baked swirl, But look at that, it's like a bluey white finish. And that is just not very attractive on warm tone people. I mean, I'm wearing blue right now, so it's probably going to pick up some of that, but I didn't like this at all. But somebody with a cool tone skin color, like a summer or a winter in the Color Me Beautiful, or if you have, you know, darker skin with cool tones, cool undertones, or ash tones, this would be beautiful on you. This is not really for a warm tone person. Now there are 3 different shades of this. There's one that's even whiter than this, and then there's one that's kind of a champagne-y color, and I should have opted for that one. But and I think these are only $5 or $6 at most. So these are pretty good. So yeah, I like the formula, but the color was wrong for me, and that was my bad. You know, I just picked the wrong one. Now this is the Vivid Bake Bronzer, and this is the color Ready to Go. And I think they're trying to mimic the Laura Geller bronzer. I didn't like this. I think what bothered me about this was that it goes kind of too much of a golden and unnatural color. I'm just gonna, with a large brush, it's very glowy and very unnaturally orangey. So I think that this was a fail, although it looks beautiful and lovely in the palette. This was, I think, $5. The bronzer in this shade anyway, I didn't like it all. Very fair skinned. Let me see if it'll, I'll put it on the décolleté so you can see what it looks like. Maybe, I don't want to give you TMI here, but it's a little orangey. It's a little orangey. And I just thought it was just too unnatural. It didn't look like a natural tan to me. So this was a fail. Now lip products, I only got 3. I get 3 different types of lip products, and one of them is the Makeup Revolution. These are kind of comparable to NYX round lipsticks. They're really fun difference and a really cute quality about this brand is on the end here you have like a sample, and you can unscrew the end off, and inside the cap is a sample of the product, so you can actually try the product out, which I think is pretty neat. Now this is called Love Nude, and this is the messiest swatch you will ever see. Love Nude is the color, and I will put it on my lips so you can see it. I probably should have told you the color I have on now, but I'll put that back on. Let me just wipe this off. So this is the Love Nude. And of all the millions of colors that they had, of course, I had to choose something I needed, like a hole in the head, another nude lipstick. But it's a very nice color for work. It's a very plain color if you're a little nervous about wearing makeup, don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. This is a great color. Love Nude. It's very moisturizing and hydrating. It looks really nice. Out in the sunshine, there's a little bit of shimmer to it. It's very pretty. 17 minutes, I timed it. It's gone. 17 minutes, you have to touch it up. So it does not have any staying power whatsoever, unfortunately. So Love Nude is probably going back. Something I did like, and I am keeping, believe it or not, I'm keeping something. This is the this is Intense, and this is called, this usually, it comes in a gold package like this one, but I let it go. This is the Salvation Intense Lip Lacquer. No Ordinary Love. No Ordinary Love is the name of this one. Now I remember, it was like the Sade song, No Ordinary Love. That's what I had on at the beginning of the video. I'm just going to put it back on. Yeah, it's a lip gloss. Very shiny, and just to use that phrase one more time, which you probably don't want to hear it, your lips are better. Definitely a beautiful lip gloss on lasts a lot longer than the lipstick does, and I really like it. This is the Intense formula. It's called Intense. Don't get the Velvet. That's coming up next. So this is the Salvation lip gloss in Intense, and the color is No Ordinary Love. Now you see the difference between what it looks like on your lips and what it looks like in there. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of a sheen, and you can see it's nice, shiny, healthy looking lips from this. I did like this very much, and I am keeping it. Now this, on the other hand, this is the Makeup Revolution Salvation Velvet Lip Lacquer. And this puppy is in the one for all, but it's not really. This is the one for none as far as I'm concerned, because I got to show you this. You're not going to believe it. Step right up, folks. The circus is in town. Here we go. This reminds me of one of those 1960s paintings, posters of, like, you know, Andy Warhol's studio or something. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so Ronald McDonald. That is what the Velvet formula looks like. I of course got the wrong color because I was looking for a nice, pleasant looking coral color, and this is what I got. This is like, I don't know, if you take a negative and do some special effects with Photoshop. But anyway, I wanted you to see it. It does dry down and stain your lips, so I have to take it off right now because, God, I don't want these ugly old lips to stay with me. Now, it's okay if you put other stuff over the top of it, but just look how vibrant that is. Eesh. Okay. We're going to move on now to brows. Let me just get the... Woo! Alright. This is the Ultra Brow Kit, and this is one of the highest price points. The lipstick, I forgot to tell you, is only $3. $3, so it's just as cheap as like Wet n Wild lipsticks, but unfortunately I think the Wet n Wild lipsticks last better. So, you know, it's up to you. If you like the colors, go for it. In fact, I'm going to put this on now. And maybe by the end of the video you'll see that it's gone. I don't know. And you're all saying to yourself, oh God, is she going to be on another 17 minutes? Okay. So now the Ultra Brow Kit, this is something that was one of the more expensive items in the Makeup Revolution line. It was $15, which is a lot of money in that line because their stuff doesn't normally cost that much. It has a lot of stuff, and I just want to show you because I was so impressed with this. It has a nice compact again, and then you have, what's kind of neat is you have two waxes. One is a light colored wax and one is a dark colored wax. You can also, if you're a fish belly white girl, you can use that dark colored wax as a cream eyeshadow in the corners. And if you're light colored, you can use this as your brow wax. And then there are four different powders for your brows. So this covers pretty much a really nice broad range of skin types and brow colors. So I like that they have a taupey cool tone and a golden blonde tone for the brow stuff. Also, they have a really nice taupey pencil in case you gals who are going through chemo don't have any eyebrows at all. You can draw them in with this, and then you can fill them in, and they supply you with a couple of little tools. There's a little brow pencil, tiny little brow pencil, brow brush, which you can use this with the wax, or you can use it with the powder and just add it in there. And then they have this little one which you can probably use in one of these things. Now this is a underbrow enhancing cream, they call it. It's actually like an eye base, suspiciously a little bit like the concealer in the concealer palette. And this big strip here is a pink highlighter which you can put on the inside of corners of your eyes. You can also use this as a cheek highlighter. I just thought this particular palette, because you can also use these as eyeshadows, I thought it was a very versatile palette and very multitasking. And anything that does more than one thing is alright in my book. So I really liked this. You also get a tiny little, kind of cute, little tiny, beep, 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 tiny little tweezers. So, I mean, all in all, I thought this was a great little kit for the money, and you can multi-purpose these products. So for $15, I actually was very impressed with the brow kit. Now the part you're probably really waiting for is the eye palettes, and I'm going to start with the one that didn't impress me as much as the others, and this is the Matte Essentials palette. This is the Redemption eyeshadow palette in Essential Mattes. And this has a really nice assortment. You don't get the mirror in this compact, but this has a really nice assortment of mattes in blues, purples, browns, and your light lid shades and highlight shades. So it's got a little bit of everything. I did find these, it comes with a double-ended sponge tip applicator, which is totally useless. You dip that in there and you get a lot of fallout. Now these shades, hit and miss. You do need a primer. If you don't use a primer, they're going to be gone in less than the 17 minutes that the lipstick disappears. So you're going to really definitely need a primer with these shades. Now, there's not really anything I can compare with this particular palette as far as high-end, and that doesn't matter to me. I don't care if it's just like Urban Decay or anything. I look at something as if I can use it on my own eyes, and I did actually use this. It worked really well. I think that for all of the shades in here, it was $7, and I think that that's a terrific price. Again, if you're just starting out with makeup, or if you're an older person, you're just getting back into makeup, this is a great way to kind of play around without spending too much money, because you really don't need to spend a lot of money on makeup to look nice. And I really like this. So this is the Essential Mattes palette. The next palette is on their on the Ulta website. This is, I'm a big Duran Duran fan, so as soon as I saw this name of this palette, I was like, yes, I don't care if they're all blacks and grays, I'm getting this sucker. So this is a limited edition palette called Girls on Film from Makeup Revolution. And it has that really nice palette with the mirror. This one has a really wonderful assortment of shimmers. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 shimmer shades, and then there's 6 matte shades. And I think this is just a gorgeous palette. I wore this today at work, and there are a couple shades here that are just gorgeous. I think it's these two I liked. Yeah, this coppery brown has got to be one of my favorite shades. I don't know if I can put it on and do anything. I know some of you marvel at the fact that I just keep adding eyeshadows and try to make it work, but this is a beautiful fall color. I think this is going to be gorgeous for fall. This particular shade in this palette. Now this is the Girls on Film limited edition palette. I think this was $8 instead of $7, but wow, 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 wow. These colors are gorgeous. Look at this. And I think that the quality of these for some reason seem to be nicer than the general eyeshadows that I tried. Now I didn't try any of the singles, but I did try all of these, and I tried different ones at different times. Now the mattes are nice. I do like the charcoal gray very much. You can use these wet with a liner or with a primer water on the brush, and then put it in there. It makes them a little more intense. I do suggest though that you use a primer, eyelid primer. Definitely a wonderful palette. Girls on Film. It's 2 thumbs up from me. I really like it, and I'm really glad that something with a Duran Duran reference is good. Now the last one I'm going to talk about is the one you're probably all interested in, and this is the Redemption Eyeshadow Palette Iconic 1. Now they have an Iconic 2 and Iconic 3, and guess what? They're trying to imitate the Urban Decay Naked palettes. This is like the original Urban Decay Naked palette. These colors are almost spot on, exactly the same as the ones for Urban Decay. There's a slight mauvey pull to some of the colors, a slight cooler tone pull to some of the colors. The glitter is a little more refined on, I don't know, it's Sidecar or... Well, anyway, this is a beautiful palette, and it is not the same as Naked palette in quality. Not even close. You do need a primer, or these things are just gonna disappear into the great void. I think this is the one they call Buck. Naked one and Buck are fine, and then we have Virgin and Sin right next to each other. Really pretty, really pretty. Let me just keep adding them onto here. And I really like this palette a lot. I think it does mimic the Naked palette, and some of their palettes mimic the Lorac Pro palettes, and some of them imitate MAC shadows. But second I put my brush in, and I don't know if you can see this, but the second you put your brush in, you get a ton of fallout. So you really have to tap off your brush before you put it on your eyes. You're gonna have a nice little gutter full of shadow powder fallout. So that's been, and I don't know if you can see it, but it just from that, it has made the very powdery, not very much color payout for what you have. You don't get the mirror with this one, but the colors look pretty close. But you have to do like six goes in order to get one swatch out of the Naked palette. You do like 3 or 4 and maybe you'll come close to it. So yeah, it's a cheap version. It's a sound-alike, okay? But it is good. And I think that if you don't have the Naked palette, I think paying $54 for the Naked palette is kind of obscene. So I returned mine. I did. After I did the Urban Decay special, I returned it. Because I just the morality of that. Not me returning, but I mean, that's another story altogether. Anyway, so the Iconic one is supposed to mimic Naked one. The one I've been hearing most people talk about that they like a lot is the Iconic 3. They said that it's not only an imitation of Naked 3 palette, but it's better. They like the way the colors go on better. So I may try that. I'm not a real big fan though of a rosy cast, so I never bought Naked 3. But just so you know for your own particular information. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I would personally go and try these out at Ulta. If you have an Ulta that actually has a store display of the Makeup Revolution, and get as many swatches and things as you can. Find what you like, and then go online at the actual Makeup Revolution website and look at the stuff, and you can see what the different colors are and how they compare to what they are in real life. Because again, the colors look very different online than they do in real life. So you have to be careful there. Of course, you know, with Ulta you can return something if it doesn't work out. Not so much with Makeup Revolution. So that's the trade-off there. So I do need your help with something. I have painted the bedroom, and I need you to tell me whether or not you think I should go with the teal colored bedspread or if I should go with the white colored bedspread. So I'm going to show you a picture of both, and I in the comments or something, just put down what you think I should go with, the teal color or the white color. Because I'm picking out like a little side area rug, and I want to know which way to go with it. So it would be very helpful to me if you told me whether or not the teal cover was better or the white cover was better. So everybody have a marvelous week. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.